he struck down 4 of my videos. I have been hit with some bullshit strikes.
This strike was false. This strike doesn't make sense.
Your account's been terminated.
What?
Yeah.
Me, Bob Show, Josiah Clark, we all got strikes from our review of Cool Cat.
I've had loads of strikes.
A community strike.
He actually got the strike because he made a video.
I have received a community strike because of it.
Strike. For me, vlogging.
Big YouTubers getting strikes.
We reported that he got a few strikes on his channel.
I want to apologise for the seriousness of this video. I will be making little to no jokes throughout because this situation is no laughing matter, especially for the smaller content creators like myself. But instead of making jokes, I'm going to be talking about a joke. That joke being the jaded YouTube strike system, that as of right now, the likelihood of that system being abused is formidable. So if for whatever reason you haven't heard already through a number of smaller YouTubers, you will unfortunately not know the problems we as a smaller community are going through. And these situations aren't minuscule, tedious events. In actual fact, these events are instead channel corrupting problems that we as a smaller community cannot face alone. These problems are actually closing down the possible future of huge content creators on YouTube. An example of 2 channels that have already been falsely flagged down are BSM TV and the Burkinator 4. Both channels are now no longer because of this broken fucking mess we call the strike system on YouTube.
Someone or several people out there essentially reported every single one of my videos under the clause harassment and bullying, and because enough reports were issued, YouTube actually managed to take down my entire channel. I was again unable to even log into my channel to appeal, as the channel was instantly deleted off of YouTube.
To think this individual had received 4 strikes in a matter of minutes, thus ending his channel, is the scariest shit ever. And undoubtedly, history soon repeated itself on the other content creator, Burkinator.
The worst thing about this strike was that it was literally one of my random full live stream VODs. So when they gave me the option to review my video to find out what I did wrong, it said the video was no longer available. It would not let me watch any of the footage, and they gave me no reason at all for taking it down. I appealed it, and before I could even get back, my fucking channel got shut down. Not only did they kill my channel, but they killed my Google Plus account and my Gmail.
You can really hear the emotion through both the content creators' voices, and it's truly really sad to hear them like this because they're both really happy individuals. I mean, I've talked to Burkinator quite a lot recently, and he's such a nice guy, and for him to be affected by this is absolutely devastating. These complete shutdowns of both channels were completely and totally unwarranted, and both of them had little to no time to fix the situation. For example, BSM got all 4 strikes within 5 minutes, meaning he couldn't even appeal them. And Burke, although he may have appealed his first strike, didn't even receive anything from YouTube quick enough to resolve the problem, as his channel was shortly falsely flagged down. And this is a clear example of why YouTube is broke. It's now known to the community as a product of abuse. This system is insane to think of it as a system to help us content creators. In actual fact, it's helping trolls and haters, bring down us content creators just because they didn't agree with our opinion, which is obviously censorship of freedom of speech. This is not what YouTube should stand for, but yet they are. The people affected by the abuse of the system so far that are too small to make a loud enough voice to project their situation to those that can genuinely help their channel out a lot are Ura the T-Rex, BSM TV, the Burkinator 4, Elvis the Alien, the Dingster, Mama Max, Sinnoh, and the Offminator. These are, of course, only a handful of people that I personally know and have talked to. Yet, I know there are hundreds of channels, maybe even thousands, that are in the same situation as these guys, but don't have the connections or a large enough audience to project their problem to someone that can resolve this issue. The people I listed have their own videos, and I'll highly recommend that you watch them to understand their struggles on this matter. Each video will be linked in the description below. The majority of people I have mentioned who have been affected by the same situation have been flagged for quote-unquote bullying or harassment, which is something I know for definite none of these creators that I have listed do. The Burkinator, for example, made a few videos where he featured on other people's YouNow streams. On these streams, he usually dressed up as a ketchup bottle, also known as the ketchup monster, and often shouted something comedic down his mic. Every person that featured the Burkinator on their stream was laughing or at least smiling at his actions. Yet people who featured him on their streams that enjoyed his presence, individuals decided to false flag it as harassment or bullying, thus taking down the video, and there's where the problem lies. Matthew Patrick once said on an episode of Game Theory that YouTube is like a game and that each sub is like a progress in a level almost. And that's how I've always thought of it. But like all video games, there are hacks, exploits, and of course scumbags that abuse the game's bugs. For example, people that utilize viewbots and subbots remain on YouTube to this day, despite being exposed multiple times for being a user of these bots. My friend Herotic TV made a good video about a few popular YouTubers that utilize these douchey ways. Yet, someone who has the approval of the individuals they're making videos on can get their channel striked and even possibly terminated off the site.
So the people who I directly impacted with the video liked the video, but somehow it still got taken down for breaking the community guidelines. I have never felt more helpless, more just completely abused in my life.
Furthermore, the only help we as creators can get is through trying to make videos like this to spawn a loud enough noise so others can spread the word and eventually get it seen by someone who has connections with YouTube to resolve this ongoing problem. We as smaller channels rely on viewers to spread the word, and that to some is demeaning to them. We instead should have the ability, no matter the size of our channel, to get in contact with a YouTube official to privately resolve this problem. But instead, we have an auto messaging service because Google are way too lazy to fix a site that is desperate need of a fraction of the wealth they gain within minutes. On the subject of exploits, on Christmas Day 2009, YouTube was temporarily hacked for 24 hours. By this I mean an anonymous individual somehow replaced most of people's videos thumbnails with a man of Asian descent. YouTube to this day does not know what happened on that day, and I'm pretty fucking sure they wasn't even properly informed on this matter. Fast forward to 2016 and YouTubers are still getting hacked through a process of exploiting the verification step on their Google accounts. How the fuck is a website with a value of 40 billion still not able to fix this minute problem to benefit creators, especially of smaller size? And that is why YouTube is broke. When I think of YouTube, I think of the logo, but with a crack right through the center. The crack is very visible, yet you can still see the reason YouTube isn't fully broke. It's because there is a glue holding it together, that glue being the community. Without such a strong community, this site wouldn't be anything, which is obvious, but the community report problems happening on the site. The community entertained the millions of active users, and the community made their own fucking appeal system in replacement of the current broken one, which is already flooded by the thousands of people who are having problems with the abused system. Why can YouTube not look at creators of a smaller size and see potential instead of letting them crumble and die to this monster that is part of their site? Obvious both Google and YouTube as a company on its own care more for the money instead of the people that are providing that money. Even the smaller creators that provide a little bit of money towards YouTube, it's still something that is going in their back pocket, yet they don't care. So if they cared so much about money, why don't they actually let us grow so they receive more money? In conclusion, YouTube's biggest problem is not their abuse system, but it's their greed. Their greed is stopping anything from being fixed. Often I say towards the end of my videos to you guys to drop a like and share it with friends, but this time there is a valid reason that could potentially help the smaller community on YouTube and that could possibly help YouTube as a whole. If you're able to share this video with anyone, your friends or people that you may know that do YouTube on this matter, it would help massively and it would be appreciated by not just myself but the thousands that are affected by this abuse system. Additionally, tweeting this out towards YouTube news outlets such as Scarce, Keemstar or Philly D will also help the matter massively, and I also suggest watching and sharing the victims' videos that I've previously mentioned that will be linked in the description below. I also want to quickly break topic and say this video will never be monetized unless ironically falsely claimed by this broken system. If you do see any adverts on this video, please tweet it at me. I do not intend to profit off a problem affecting close friends and the thousands and possibly me in the future.